This is a call for an uprising. We welcome you to today's show and ask those of you who have not subscribed to please subscribe to our YouTube channel as we continue to expose the satanic Illuminati agenda and the ushering in of the Antichrist. Today's show, we're going to expose another Illuminati hand symbol, another symbol that's in plain sight that they constantly flash, but you would never notice, and that is the hidden hand. It is the hidden hand of the Royal Arch degree of Freemasonry. Now, what I've been trying to tell people on this channel is that it's so important to look for symbols because these people speak in symbols. There's things that you would never think of looking at in a painting before because they have trained our brain to work a certain way while theirs works a different way. They're brought up, their children aren't brought up in the public school systems or in any of these school systems that we go through. They're brought up in a different school system. They train and teach their own the secrets of the occult, the secrets of Freemasonry, and all of these things. They're ushered in that way while we're thrown into, a school system where we learn fake history and all of these fake things that dumb us down and make us stupid. So we don't look for these things. But if you look, it becomes more and more obvious, as I'll show you with the hidden hand. As you see all of these prominent people in history that flash this symbol, which is the Royal Arch degree of Freemasonry. It's a sign of power for the elitists, for the Freemasons. I'll start with using a quote by Manly P. Hall in his book, Secret Destiny of America. Today's thinking toward a democratic world state is neither a new trend nor an accidental circumstance. The work of setting up the background of knowledge necessary to the establishing of enlightened democracy among all nations has been carried on for many hundreds of years by secret societies. Because all of this knowledge and all this hidden stuff is passed on through the Masonic lodges, like I've been telling you, which is the recruiting ground for the Illuminati, for the occult. This is where they are taught that they're their own gods. They get all this power, and we're all peasants to them. And they dumb us down and put us through the systems, and then they raise the children, and they raise society on the television set, and false idol worship, and all this stuff. And that's how we get where we are today. But it is essential in your awakening process to start training your brain when you're watching television, when you're doing anything, watching videos on YouTube, when you're seeing somebody talk, if anything, looking at pictures in museums, to look for the hand symbols. And it's not just the basic hand symbols that we talked about, which is the 666, the overly obvious ones that they flash. Okay, because the Freemasons speak in secret code. They have secret handshakes. Yes, it's true. They have secret handshakes. They have secret codes they flash to one another on the television set all the time. And one of which is this one, the hidden hand. So like I mentioned, this is from the Royal Arch degree of Freemasonry. When they get to this degree, they are told the name of God. And his name is Jahbulon, Jahbulon, which is a combination of words. The first word being Jehovah, okay, of the varieties of the sacred name, and using the different nations of the earth. Three particularly merit the attention of the Royal Arch Freemasons. Jah, the name of God, is found in the 68th Psalm. Okay, the second part of the word, the Bul, also refers to Baal. This word signifies Lord, Master, or Possessor, and hence it was applied by many nations of the East to denote the Lord of all things and the Master of the world, referring to Baal, Lucifer. Okay, and then the third part is the O-N at the end, on. This was the name which Jehovah was worshipped among the Egyptians. So this is what they find out as they go through Freemasonry. They find out the true name of God, that we've all been misled, and then they find out that the real mysteries of life is that we are, as human beings, are God, that we have all the powers of the universe. They use this through witchcraft, through sorcery, through all the things that these people end up doing. But as they go through Freemason, this is what's exposed to them. That's why there's levels in Freemasonry. That's why people don't understand. They'll say, I know a guy who was a Freemason. Right, well, he was probably a first, second, or third degree Freemason. He just joined it because he was looking to get involved in something. He has no idea what he's doing. The next thing you know, one of the first ceremonies they do, he's in his underwear on the floor with a knife to his neck, wearing a blindfold, told that if he ever reveals the secrets of Freemasonry, he'll be killed. And then this guy doesn't have a clue what's going on, and he kind of just might stick around. He might look to go further. But the people who go further up the ladder, who continue to graduate from degree to degree, these are the ones who become rulers, right? These are the people that get put in positions of power. Now, the prominent positions of power in our world are all obviously Freemasons who have gotten to a high degree of masonry, but also people who are part of a bloodline. So some of these people who might just join a lodge and think that if they get to the 30th degree that they're going to be the next president of the United States, it's pretty rare if you're not a part of the bloodline. But you will be put in a prominent position if you want to run for local office or even minor office, senator or something like that, or be an executive of industry. This is what happens when you go through the lodge. But you also find out, like I said, that you are indeed a god on earth, and you also are revealed God's name according to what they believe. Now, what's interesting is that the whole idea behind the hidden hand is apparently from Exodus 4:6, where the Lord furthermore said to him, "Now put your hand into your bosom." So he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was like snow. Then he said, "Put your hand into your bosom again." So he put his hand into his bosom again, and he took it out. He said, "Behold, it was restored like the rest of his flesh." This is when God is speaking to Moses in Exodus 4:6. They interpret it as what we are is what we ultimately do. This isn't paying homage to the Lord. It's almost in a sense a mockery to God. But you can see all of these famous people, all these people through history, what they started to do was they would depict it in paintings. Now, this is one of the things I always tell people who are just fresh to waking up. When you show them paintings, this isn't just a portrait. We've talked about portraits, pictures, right, on magazine covers where the guy's doing 666, and we said, wow, okay, how many times can they do this without making it obvious? Now, think about paintings throughout history, the history of the world. How long these people took to do this painting, to stand there and paint this person. And you'll see that throughout history, that these painters all portrayed these people with their hand underneath their jacket, over their heart, the hidden hand. It wasn't a coincidence. They just say, okay, put your hand here. I think this would be a great pose, over and over. I mean, look at the people of history. Napoleon, Freemason, George Washington, Freemason, Stalin, Freemason, Karl Marx, Freemason, Mozart. You get Solomon Rothschild. And we know what the Rothschilds are all about. You get our own president, Barack Obama. You get James Garfield. You get John Wilkes Booth. You even get our good old friend, the satanic Pope Francis. You get Kanye West doing it. Celebrities doing it too all the time now in pictures. Johnny Depp, Paul McCartney. I mean, the list goes on of people in history that have been doing this. Now, the symbol was put into painting so that they would know throughout history, before there was a camera and you could take photos. So people could look back and say, wow, it's 1900 and I'm a Freemason 33rd degree. And now I'm looking back and I'm seeing, wow, George Washington, there it is. There's his hand over his chest. So I know. That's how they talk to each other and communicate. So they can let other people in the brotherhood know who they are and who they represent. Now, we have been trained as sheep to never look for these types of things, ever. Their brains process this way. They look for symbols. They communicate through symbols. Us, we're in an alpha state, like I've been saying over and over. We're not looking for symbols. Our brain isn't even functioning on a level where it's processing thought. And that's why most people who come to this channel who are awake, who are saying, I'm trying to wake somebody up, I'm trying to help them see what's going on. It's because the person is constantly in an alpha state. They cannot see the signs or the symbols because they're sleeping. Literally, they're walking around sleeping like zombies, which they're telling you with all these zombie shows and stuff like that. We are a race of zombies at this point. But anyone who thinks at this point that symbols like this are just another coincidence, it's frustrating. I know how frustrating it can be for a lot of you out there to wake people up. Trust me, it's just as equally as frustrating for me. I'm putting myself out there on this channel. I get so many trolls, so many people that are just sound asleep that I have to deal with and shun away or tell to just, go back to sleep where they belong, because they won't wake up, because they won't see these signs. And the reason they won't see it is because they're sleeping, because they're in an alpha state. But these people are taught to communicate through symbols, and they have forever. Freemasons use secret hand symbols. They use secret handshakes, all sorts of symbology. Certain words have different dual meanings to them. And this is yet another one, a very important one to know. So now you've learned a lot of these symbols we've talked about, which are pretty obvious ones, the 666, the peace sign. Maybe to new people to the channel or new people who are waking up, it's not obvious. But there's a lot of people who are awake that don't know these Masonic hand signs. And you need to look for them, particularly ones like this, because they're still doing it. I mean, you could even see Tom Hanks doing it. You could see Ted Cruz was doing it. And you might say, oh, he was just putting his hand on the heart for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, these people do the hidden hand. It's deliberate. They put it under the coat. These people aren't posing on these, getting painted like this, doing it deliberately. And I know a lot of people out there, they say, exposing this stuff, can't you get in a lot of trouble? I'm kind of afraid to tell people about it. I don't know what's going to happen. Listen, okay, the Freemasons never expected this stuff to get out. The Illuminati never expected this stuff to get out. They had a whole different idea when they created the internet. Okay, it was coming in for a lot of different reasons, to usher in a lot of things, including the mark of the beast, including complete monitoring of your life and what you're looking up and what you're doing so they can know if anyone was onto them or whatnot. Okay, but we've gotten to a point now where they don't care anymore. I'm telling you that they don't care. They're not going to go out assassinating people who are truthers at this point, because they look at it and they go, we have billions of people. There's over 7 billion people in the world. Do you know how many billion people are sound asleep? Billions of people. Because the people who are awake is a small majority. They could care less about it because this thing is in overdrive. They are on the path right now. We are on course to ushering in the Antichrist possibly this year. Okay, World War III possibly upon us. They are in overdrive to get this done. They're no longer worrying about getting exposed because they've seen truthers out there talk about it since the early 90s. Since William Cooper started talking about it. Since before that, right? Since Pawns in the Game came out, many centuries ago. Books and books and books have come out exposing them and exposing this. And they've seen the reaction of the sheep because they've created this system, this school system, this belief in a fake history, this discrediting that they do on the television set under hypnosis to say, oh, these people are crazy, conspiracy theories. They created all of this because they studied the brain, they realized how it worked, and they know how to combat it. So they look at it now and they say, it doesn't matter. These people can make perfect sense. They can know all of our secrets. No one's going to listen to them because we have them under full control. They're sound asleep. They're under hypnosis. All we have to do is put Kanye West on TV or Beyonce and have them go, what an Illuminati mess, to get people to go, yeah, she's even saying that you people are stupid. Then you have idiots who come over to truther channels and go, Beyonce's calling you guys an Illuminati mess. Don't you get it? Like, what? Are you that stupid? Are you that stupid? She's even discrediting it to get you off the scent because they don't want you near it. They have to discredit it. That's how they continually win, by discrediting it. They have these false idols discredit all of this stuff because the sheep are so obsessed with these false idols. They're so obsessed with them. They think that they're friends with them. They think that they know them personally because they think they can relate to their music, but they can't, and it's part of the hypnosis. So when people ask me, that's the answer. Why aren't people seeing this? Why aren't they coming after you? Why aren't they coming after? Because they don't care. They don't care anymore because it's over for the most part. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get souls back to heaven, as many as possible back to our Father, as many as I can. Because if you start waking up and you start realizing, that you've strayed away from God because you've been misled by the world around you, well, now's your time to repent and get right with God. And He'll understand because He knows we're under demonic hypnosis here. But as far as they go, they have billions of people behind it. They don't care. They have everything that they want at this point, and they want it to come in now. They want to usher it in now. They're not going to spend their time wasting it on people like me who might get a few hundred people maybe to wake up, and see what's going on. But they know that none of us can do anything about it. They have the military, they have the weapons, and besides, people like us who are awake, who believe in Jesus Christ, we're not preaching violence. We're not preaching, let's go do something violently. We're preaching to fight back with the scriptures. And to them, that's a joke because all they care about is their life here on earth. They want to have immortality here. So they're not worried. As long as you're not a threat to do something to them like that, then they don't care because they control and own everything. And they want to usher it in now. And that's what they're doing. So again, look for these signs. Look for these symbols. Google the hidden hand, Freemasonry, or Google hidden hand, celebrities or famous people, and look at the amount of people. I just picked a few here. It's a list of thousands and thousands from every culture. It's not just American, okay? Every culture. If somebody out there in another country, that this goes on there too. Look up, people of prominence and power over there. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's a total system of control. But it's blatantly obvious because all of these people aren't just being painted with their hand on their heart, just like all these people are on magazine covers, putting their hand over their all-seeing eye or putting a 666 over their eye because they're just trying to be goofy and have a good time. Okay, they communicate through symbols and hand signs. Always remember that, and always when you're watching television or reading or whatever, looking at things, to look for symbols because they are everywhere. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you. Peace be with you.